Alright, continuing with our Victorian mansion, today I want to build a set of stairs going up to the second floor. I have the environment open in Blender, and the very first thing I'm going to do is model a single step. And then we're going to use a feature in Blender called the array modifier, which is going to copy the step over and over again and make a whole staircase from just one step. Alright, and there's our step. I can go ahead and add the array modifier now. And there's an offset, which is adjustable. So what I can do is, the next copy of the step, I can make it a little bit higher and a little bit farther back. That way, each copy is a step up from the previous one. And then I can make as many steps as I want. So you can see the array modifier makes it very easy to make a staircase. I've also added some trim and some wooden paneling, similar to the way I've done it in previous videos. So here it is in Unity. And this is with the Unity materials added. It looks pretty nice, I think. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a banister and some spindles. Now I could simply create a 3D model of a spindle, but instead I'm going to make it entirely using a texture and just make the background transparent. I can put this texture on a simple quad, a simple square, and with the transparent background, it'll just look like the spindles or a cardboard cutout. Here I'll demonstrate in Unity. I have a simple square. I add the material to it, and there it is. Just flat spindles. And the reason I'm creating them this way is that they look more sketchy and hand-drawn than if I were to make a 3D model. And also there's the added benefit that it takes less time. Here in Blender, I'm going to texture map each of the 3 spindles to separate objects. The objects will just be simple quads, front and back. I actually have to create 2 quads for each spindle, one for the front and one for the back, and that is because in a game engine it's only going to render one side of the quad. So if I don't create 2 quads, you won't be able to see the spindle from one side. So altogether we'll have 3 individual spindles that look slightly different from each other. And we can arrange them so that 2 identical spindles are never right next to each other. That way you have this sort of crooked, sketchy, random look. Notice in Blender I'm not really going to bother to try to figure out how to make the background transparent on these quads. Blender materials in general are not very compatible with Unity. So, generally speaking, I do most of my material work in Unity itself, and only use very rudimentary materials in Blender, or none at all. Alright, now I've arranged spindles going up the stairs. Now, in Unity, I'm going to assign my material, the same material to each spindle. Alright, and that looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to build a simple banister to go over the spindles. And we're going to start off by creating a simple cross section. We'll get it into the shape that we want the banister to be. Now that we have the shape for our cross section, we can extrude it into a long banister. And now we can arrange it where we want it to go. Here's something interesting you see sometimes. I've imported the banister into Unity and it's inside out. You can see the inside of it, but not the outside. When you're building a model in Blender, Blender will show both sides of every face you create, but typically in a game engine, you only see one side, and in our case, the wrong side is facing out, but it's actually really easy to fix. All I need to do is go into Blender, select all of the faces that are wrong, and then just select on the menu to have it recalculate the normals. The normals always point outward, so as long as the normals are pointing in the right direction, that indicates what direction your face is pointing. And there is a way to display normals in Blender, so if you're paying attention, you can actually correct this problem before exporting it. Okay, that's better. That looks exactly like we want. So now we can just add the material and go on to the next thing. Now the last thing I want to do is to make an especially big separating column to go at the very top and the very bottom of the stairs. So we're just going to model this starting with the simple box. Then we can just keep extruding it and shaping it how we want. Then we copy this and put one at the bottom of the stairs too. And here we go with the finished project. Alright, so next time we're going to keep developing this interior until we get to a full room. And this will be the grand entryway.